Around 850 vessels swarmed the channel, yet only a fraction were military. The beaches of Dunkirk in late May 1940 were a scene of unimaginable desperation. Hundreds of thousands of British and French soldiers, trapped by the advancing German war machine, faced annihilation. The Royal Navy, despite its might, couldn't reach them all. Operation Dynamo, the audacious evacuation plan, was unfolding, but its scale demanded more than just naval might. It demanded an armada of the unexpected, a flotilla of ordinary civilian vessels summoned from every corner of the British coast. These weren't warships or transports. They were fishing trawlers, pleasure yachts, paddle steamers, lifeboats, and even private dinghies. A motley collection united by a singular, urgent purpose to bring the boys home. The call went out on May 26th, a desperate plea from the Admiralty. Owners of all suitable vessels with a shallow draft were ordered to report to specific ports. Many didn't wait for orders, they simply went. One such vessel was the Sundowner, a 58-foot motor yacht belonging to Charles Lydola, the second officer of the Titanic. At 66, Lydola, with his son and a Sea Scout, sailed his yacht across the channel, directly into the inferno. He knew the risks. German planes strafed the beaches and bombed the waters relentlessly. U-boats patrolled the deeper channels. Yet the sense of duty, of shared national peril, was a stronger current. These little ships, as they became known, faced incredible odds. They were slow, vulnerable, and often overloaded. Their crews, mostly civilians, were untrained for combat, yet their resolve was unwavering. The shallow waters off Dunkirk were a death trap for larger naval vessels. Sandbanks, mines, and submerged wrecks made approach perilous. This was where the little ships truly became indispensable. They could get close to the shore, ferrying soldiers from the beaches to the larger destroyers and transports waiting further out. A human chain, forged in desperation, linking land to sea. One remarkable account tells of a small rowing boat, manned by 3 civilians, making repeated trips. Each time, they packed in as many exhausted soldiers as they could, barely staying afloat under the weight. The chaos was immense. Soldiers, some having marched for days without food or sleep, stood shoulder to shoulder in the water, waiting, hoping for a spot on any vessel. The smell of oil, smoke, and fear hung heavy. For 9 relentless days, from May 27th to June 4th, the evacuation continued. The little ships played their part, not just ferrying, but often crossing the channel entirely, delivering soldiers directly to English ports. It wasn't always heroic fanfare. Many civilians simply did what they felt was necessary, then quietly returned to their lives. Their motivations were simple: duty, empathy, and a profound sense of national unity. The Sundowner, Lydola's yacht, alone brought back 130 soldiers on one trip. Packed shoulder to shoulder, they made it across the channel, a testament to the yacht's sturdy build and its crew's courage. Estimates vary, but these civilian vessels are credited with rescuing tens of thousands of men, a crucial portion of the 338, 226 Allied soldiers evacuated. Without them, the outcome for Britain could have been catastrophic. The human cost was also significant. Many little ships were lost, sunk by bombs or capsized by the heavy seas and overloading. Their crews faced the same dangers as the soldiers they rescued. Yet the spirit of Dunkirk, embodied by these unsung saviors, became a powerful symbol of British defiance. It showed the world that even in the darkest hours, ordinary people could achieve extraordinary feats. The story of the little ships isn't just a footnote to a grand military operation. It's central to understanding the resilience of a nation and the profound impact of individual courage. These were not trained heroes, but shopkeepers, fishermen, yachtsmen, and their families. Their bravery, often quiet and unassuming, helped to turn a potential disaster into a miraculous escape. The legacy of the little ships continues today, with many of the original vessels preserved and maintained by dedicated enthusiasts. They serve as tangible reminders of that desperate, glorious week. Each scarred hull, each weathered deck, holds countless stories of fear, hope, and unwavering determination. Stories of civilians who, when their country called, answered with everything they had. Dunkirk wasn't a victory in the traditional sense, but it was a profound moral triumph. And that triumph was built, in no small part, on the backs of an impromptu civilian armada. The next time you consider the great turning points of the war, remember the humble fishing boat, the private yacht, and the ordinary people who stepped up to save a nation. Discover another untold tale of courage from the Second World War in our next deep dive.